Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Vigilante, My Hero Academia Illegals, episode number 5 reaction. So the previous episode, we made Ingenium, and this is Ida's brother, like Ida's brother Ingenium. Now Koichi was obviously going to, doing his normal thing, and he met Ingenium. Ingenium gave him a few tricks, how to stop using his while using his quirk, how to stop and take quick turns by using his quirk in the opposite direction. And Koichi really was helped, it really helped Koichi, because later on, as we can see, he was able to stop one villain. He and all the other vigilantes were able to stop the villain pretty easily. Also, Ingenium gave him a card and told him oh, you can join me, as a sidekick at first, obviously, and then you can work with me and everything. And Koichi was over the moon, obviously. He has been told he cannot become a hero, but he finally got a chance. But then when Ingenium saw Koichi working as a vigilante and seeing how that is necessary, because certain situations pro heroes cannot really go and reach in time, he was like, oh, can I take my card back? And Koichi was devastated. So yeah, anyways, let's see what happens today. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync into whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. What the... Hmm. Um, your place, we have 2 people over there, I'm pretty sure. Right. They're like, yeah, violin. All right. Okay. Well, that went perfectly. Bruh. Well, there were multiple people there as well. Crazy. Yeah. You're right. You know what? Maybe grabbing her hand was a bit, um, right. Oh, that happened. Okay, I see. And now she. All right. Oh boy. Okay, I see. So that happened before, when he debuted in college. That makes sense. And now, all right. Fast forward. Okay, character in a story or a play who poses the hero, deliberate scoundrel, one blamed for particular evil. Alright, this is called Judgment. Fire. Baby panda message. What the hell? Right. He was released. Oh, there he is. Oh my god, already. Wait, who the hell is that? Hmm. Several months. Oh, okay. Now he's stitching his. Right. This pudding. That's not a drink. Yeah, you just eat it. I yeah. I wonder where he got that from. Like, who did someone give it to him? Ah, he bought it. He's like, wait a minute, what are you eating? Write your name. Oh boy. Well, he has no. Yeah, he's. Oh god. Right. Oh damn. What? Right. So he spends his. Silver age in it. Right. Oh. Hmm. Interesting. Wait, is it? Is it going to be Deku? But Deku should be quite young here, right? It must be. Yeah, that is Deku's hoodie. Oh no, what? Deku's hoodie, right? When he was little. Oh, never mind. I don't think it's Deku. It's okay. This kid probably. Oh, right. Wow, that's a nice quirk. And he's eating him. Okay, no, it's not Deku. Never mind. It's this kid. He's using his quirk. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, but that was a good thing. That's what a hero is. Ah. Wait, is it him? Wow. Oh wait, he's thinking. Wait, just a minute. The, is no no. Her, I just realized their hair color are the same. Maybe she's related to that kid. Or was it her? You thought it was a. No, it wasn't her. Never mind. The age differences. Yeah, never mind. It must be his. What? Oh yeah, she's in. I oh yeah, they're not really close in age. I guess there was a little bit of a. So that was her. Okay, so I was correct. I was like, yeah, the hair color is very similar because that's why she remembered him when she was doing her concert. Yeah, just flying. Hmm. No. Um. Nope, that's not happening. Well, now what? Right, fantastic. Yeah, and he... Oh no, bruh. You tell me. Oh god. Okay, well, we get a little backstory of Pop Step. Oh, and now back to this guy. That guy, right? Oh no. Hmm. Oh god, here we go. Yeah, back to the same. Ugh. Fantastic. You come out of prison and then you just do the same thing. Where's um where's Knuckle Duster? Yeah. No official reason. Oh. So now if we get him, then we can. Oh, he's like, he's like, nah, man. Now you need to worry about Knuckle Duster. He's the one who punched you. Where is Knuckle Dust? He must be here somewhere, right? Hmm. Oh, he's not here. Oh. Oh boy. No way. Right. Yeah. Hello? You guys go and evacuate, please. Yeah, instead of taking pictures, call the police. Damn, yo. Yeah, there's a different one. There's a different version. Stronger one. Oh, the bee keeping an eye. Dopamine. Some significant augmentation of both the faculties. Yeah, she's not lying. Bruh, she's just doing the villain job for, earning money. Which is crazy. Oh no! Oh no! Um, is Knuckle Duster here? Wait, who's this? Who's that? Oh, we saw this guy before in the first scene, right? Who is he? Is he a hero? Yeah. Oh, the police is here. Yeah. Is this guy also a vigilante or something? Like, yeah. Jandal. So he's also a vigilante. I I I I know. I thought when we saw him in the first scene, I thought he was like in the villain side or something. But he's also a vigilante. No, please don't. What? Kick-ass fighter. Is he the guy we saw? Sandal. It must be, right? Yep, it must be. That's why he wants to make contact with them. Yeah, that's him. That's literally him, I think. Right. Right. Yeah, you're the one to say that, right? Wait. Yeah, no, that's not him. Okay, great. Oh, wait, is he? No, he's not. He had a ponytail, that standout guy. And this guy's a Dachshund murder. Bro. Yeah, this guy has a strong stand-in sense of justice. Am I hearing correctly? This guy's literally bullying people on the street. Right. Oh my god, yeah, he ran away. Oh. Oh my god, hey! The eyes! Is this him? Is this Stendhal? Yeah, oh. So he's like too extreme. He like kills them or something. Damn. Oh. Oh yeah, yeah, this guy's like right. So he takes it to a next level completely. Great. And somehow this girl is just here. Fantastic. Alright. I guess because she was keeping an eye on the big dude, so she came across him. Yeah, that makes sense. But again, she's probably. I do wonder how this is going to go because Stendhal, he seems like the type of character who has very extreme views of justice, and will he stoop into taking trigger if that means that he can do his job better? That's the question. He might actually, you know, like because yeah, he'll probably come to the conclusion that yeah, what I'm doing is incorrect, but it doesn't matter. I'm killing the villains, and this will help me kill the villains even quicker. Like the ends will justify. Yeah, right. And this is the difference between him and Koichi. As you can see, Koichi in today's episode at the very beginning was like, oh, we need to make sure that he doesn't do any more crimes so that he doesn't get locked up or anything. He's like thinking about the villains, while this guy's like, yep, kill them. Right. Hmm. Okay. And there you go. That was episode number five, right? Yeah, five of Vigilante My Hero Academia Illegals. Now, like I said, we get to meet Stendhal here, and he is also a vigilante, you could say, but at the same time, his vigilantism is a bit different than Koichi and the others, because he is like, oh, kill them, basically. That's what he does. So that is like very different from obviously what Koichi does, because like I said at the very beginning, Koichi was literally thinking about the villains, and that's what like Popstep like was like, what the hell, you're thinking about the villains, that's what you're doing. So so that is what Koichi is about, while this guy is like, up, kill him, basically that. So now another thing, you could say that if you remember, like a few episodes ago, there was that detective guy, I forgot his name, he was also there in My Hero Academia, I think. He said something along the lines of like, oh, Vigilante is like, it's all well and good, but nobody should be allowed to take like law in their hand, and that is also what makes vigilantes criminals as well. So I will hunt them down. um, I would say that this applies perfectly to people like Stendhal, not really Koichi, because you could say Koichi is more of the type of person, Koichi and the others are more of the type of person who comes, helps people in need, and then they just leave and leave the rest of it for the law to take care of. That's what they always have done. You've seen that, like he comes, helps them, make sure that nobody's hurt or anything. In that episode, he like saved that baby, and then when the police came, and they like tied them up, and then when the police came, they just left. So yeah, they are kind of doing the job of the police force, but at the same time they're doing it up until the time when the police force can come, like up until the time they come. So after that they're just leaving so that the police force can take care of the whole thing. So technically they're not really taking the law in their hand. Ultimately they are kind of at the beginning, because they're the ones who are fighting the villains, but at the end of the day they're stopping, and they're letting it, letting the police, like the actual police force, to do their job. Unlike Stendhal, who is like actually taking the law in their hands, like he's like executing the people, the villains who are doing this, like So I would say that what he said, what that detective said, is that applies perfectly to people like Stendhal, not really Koichi. Now I said this at the very beginning of the reaction, in the very first episode, I think, where I said something along the lines of, I'm not sure if Koichi will be able to stay like this, or there will a time will come where he'll also be pushed to such a like a situation that he has to take law in his hands as well. you know if that happens, then that's that, I guess. We'll have to see about that, but for now at least he's not doing any of that stuff. But I don't know, I just get the feeling like whenever we have like a theme like this, like vigilante kind of like situation, always like an arc comes or something comes where the main character is pushed into such a desperate situation that they actually start walking the wrong path or take things in their hands. Same thing happened in My Hero Academia as well with Deku's situation, if you remember, in that arc, where he actually kind of went on his own way and started doing things his own way, if you remember. When everyone like um you know all the people were like, like All Might was having that whole thing where people were like defacing him, his statues and everything, that part where Deku like went rogue. So yeah, even My Hero Academia had that. So here I'm assuming there is a high possibility that might happen in the future, or it might not. Like I said, who knows? This is Koichi we're talking about. It might not go exactly as I think it would. Maybe something else might happen. So yeah, we'll have to wait for that. But for now, at least, Stendhal is the type of people that detective was talking about, like that take the law in their hands and do whatever they want. So yeah, in that sense, you could call them as criminals as well. Right. So yeah, that was the Stendhal situation. Now, before I talk more about that, let me talk about the other half of today's episode, which was Popstep and Koichi. Now, here you can see, obviously, like Koichi talks about that incident where Popstep was like, "Oh, you're missing one, like hoodie," and he was like, "Oh, back in one of the when I was going to give a test or something, I saved a little boy." And yeah, there you go, that's where I gave that hoodie to that person. um and this is like, before that happened, for a moment, I actually thought maybe it was Deku. That would have been pretty interesting, like because I remember Deku having like a little hoodie thing. If you remember, that was Deku, right? Who was like his mother was like playing hide and seek with him. If you know that it's a big meme. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen that. Where Inko's like, "Oh, help me," and Deku opens the door and like, "I'm here." That was Deku, right? Or was that Bakugo? Like the meme has so many variants that I actually forgot what exactly happened. It was Deku, I think. Yeah, it wasn't Bakugo. Like there's so many variants with Bakugo as well that I really just nah. That was Deku because obviously it was Inko who was saying, "Save me." Yeah. So, and the little hoodie that he would wear. If you remember back in like little flashbacks that we have seen of him as a kid, he used to wear that little hoodie. So I don't know. I just thought maybe it was him that Koichi found, and that would have been very like an interesting like a crossover, like a connection. Like Koichi gave like his a hoodie to him, and Deku like has it or something. That would have been very cool. But I really thought it would be something like that. But no, it was actually Pop Step as a kid. Now I genuinely didn't realize up until the very end when I was like, wait a minute, the hair color is pretty similar, and even then I was thinking like, oh, it must be her brother or something, you know because first and foremost the coach called that kid a boy, you know and not only that, I kind of forgot that Koichi is actually supposed to be a working adult now, kind of. Like he not working adult, he's like goes to university, right? Yeah. Um while Popstep is supposed to be in high school or middle school, I don't know. I'm not really sure. So I kind of forgot about that, because they kind of look similar in age. So in that flashback, like that kid looked like a 5-year-old kid or something. I'm pretty sure it wasn't because I think Koichi and Popstep's age is probably have like a 2 or 3 years difference, not that much. But the way they showed Popstep there, she looked like a 5-year-old kid or something, and Koichi looked like some 20-year-old person. You know, like at least that's what and it felt like. That's why I thought like, oh, it's his brother because in no way is that her. She looks like a little kid there, like a 5-year-old kid there. I don't think she was 5 years old at that time, but she seems like that. She looks like that. So yeah, that kind of threw me off for a moment. So I was like, oh, it definitely is not her. Like, how is that possible? Like, like Koichi and Popstep's age has like a 2 or 3 years of difference. This looks like a 10 to 15-year-old difference or something. But no, it turns out it is her. So I was very surprised there. I was like, damn, okay, that kind of threw me off. Yeah. But anyways, like like the hair kind of did make me think. I was like, oh, it must be her or someone related to her. But I couldn't clock it immediately that it's her because I was like, yeah, in no way. That looks like a 5-year-old kid, and Koichi looks like a 20-year-old person over there. So in no way is that them. Is that her? But yeah. Anyways, that was actually Pop Step, and she remembered that, and she kept the hoodie, and she wanted to tell Coach, and that is why you can see in the very first episode of this show when Koichi was like like moving around, you can see Pop Step like kind of looking at him and following him by her eyes, using her eyes. So she knew him from the very beginning, and yeah, and I guess she came in contact with him to probably thank him, but then we had that whole thing with the villain getting him, that guy getting him, her, and Knuckle Duster coming in to save, like that, all that stuff happened, and we got roped into this whole thing. So she never got that opportunity, and like Koichi said in today's episode, she's very, you could say, like her embarrassment makes her get a little bit confrontational, like when he was like, oh, that's my pudding, and she's like, oh, you didn't write your name in there or something, like, and Coach like, it's fine, don't worry about it, you can eat it, I'll bring yours from next time onwards, and yeah, so she kind of like just gets agitated and embarrassed. That makes her like kind of you know yeah, so that is why she has not been able to tell him that, oh, you know what, back in that day, you're the one who actually, that was actually me. She wasn't able to say that, so she probably would have. And that day you could see, like, she came back, but Knuckle Duster was just sipping tea over there, sitting down. And she was like, no, in no way can I say that this now. So even the pudding that she brought for Koichi, like, Knuckle Duster ate it. So there you go. That was that. Right. Okay. Yeah, and that was the little connection that Koichi had with Popstep back when she was just a kid, I guess. Not a kid, like I said. I think, like, they definitely did something. Like, they made her too damn small over there. She genuinely looks like a 5-year-old kid over there. I don't know. Like, because I don't think Koichi and Popstep are that, like, far apart in age. I'm pretty sure they're at, like, maybe like 2 to 3 years maximum. But that scene made her look like some kind of a, like, like some kind of a 5-year-old kid, while Koichi is like some grown adult man. I don't know. I'm not sure if, like, like, or maybe she just, like, she Popstep is kind of on, like, a little bit short. You could see she's a little bit of yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why it seems like that. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, there you go. All right. Also, another thing, in the end, as we can see, with the whole thing with Standal that is going on, we have that guy, the the blue prickly haired guy. If you see that guy who, like, bullied Koichi, if you remember. Uh, Not only Koichi, they had the whole thing with, like, they're just making a public nuisance out of themselves, if you remember. Um, he came to meet them. Probably, I'm assuming he had something to tell them. But then when he saw Koichi and Pop step over there, he was like, "What the hell? No, I cannot." And then he just left. But as you can see, Standal is now targeting him. So I'm assuming the story is going to go in that direction, where we'll have to probably, I don't know, like, help him out or something. We'll see. Yeah, and obviously Hachisuka is probably going to come in contact with Standal, and this is what I'm thinking. I'm like, yeah, is Standal's sense of justice, that much that he will even stoop to taking trigger if it means that he can take out his enemy more efficiently? Yeah, he might, because I don't know, that's what he seems like to me. We'll have to wait and see, whether he's going to take those measures, or maybe he'll just reject Hachisuka and be like, nah, I don't need any of those. Yeah, I think it'll be probably be the former. He will probably, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. Let's wait and see. And also, for a moment, I actually thought the guy that they were going to meet was actually going to be Standal, like, but nah, that's not him. He's actually targeting him. So yeah. Right. Okay, and there you go. That was today's episode. Wait, there was one scene I want to check out, which is, that scene with that guy with the 6 arms or something. He was like, where's that part? I want to check that scene out, because we see Standal over there. Like, yeah, Temba. So I couldn't figure out what was happening, because it was a bit dark over there. But you can see, yeah, Standal, like, tracked him down, and I think he killed him. You can see he have the, like, he has a knife with blood on it. Yeah, and then we have, like, a little time skip, like they say, like, several months later or something. Yeah, several months later. So that happened, like, probably, like, 6 or 7 months before, like, now that Koichi says. So yeah, okay, that's interesting. So So does the police have no idea that Standal is doing all of these things, or they're trying? You know what? Let's wait and see. I think they'll reveal it in the next episode, probably. Like, what does the police think about this? Does they have any? Do they have any idea that someone like this is taking law in their own hands? Like, they know about Koichi and his group. Like, obviously, I do wonder if they know about Standal as well. They must, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and yeah, there you go. That was it. That was today's episode. Now, that was my overall impressions. Now, let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene, we have well, we get to see Koichi's college debut. So he he was like, "Oh, guys, hang out on my in my place," and they were like, "Yeah, let's go." And he goes there. It's like a obviously it's like there's no lights and everything. It's like broken down and everything, and he was acting very weirdly over there. I think he was probably very excited because first time he has got friends in his place, so he was so enthusiastic. That's why he probably because of this enthusiasm he grabbed the girl's hand. He was like, "Oh, come on, let's go in." And that was very weird. Obviously, the girl was like, "What the hell, bro? Where are you taking me?" And yeah, his whole reputation just got completely destroyed. Um, everyone in college is like, look at that weirdo, like, and yeah, he has no friends, and he just his whole he was like staying in his room, and he was like, this room is so like spacious. And now fast forward, we we have Knuckles and Popstep just arguing in front of him about like some random stuff, and he's like, yeah, you know what? I guess now it's not that spacious at all. Like, yeah, because if you remember, they literally like Popstep literally marked like like the room and was like, oh, this part is mine or something. She said, if you remember. And obviously, like with the with them just staying here, like yeah, and just like it's very like lively now, this place, which is a good thing. Now this is another thing I kind of forget most of the time, is that because most of the time we have like main characters who are like introverted and like uh like shy, like especially My Hero Academia, we had Deku as like the main character and everything, which is actually not really introverted. Like, I always kind of forget about that. Like, which is quite outgoing. Like, he's pretty normal in that sense. Like, he's not extroverted or introverted. He's like in the middle, kind of. So I kind of forget about that. So like I don't know. At the very beginning, I was like, damn, he just brought all his friends like that, and he was like that enthusiastic. And then I remember, like, oh yeah, he's not really a shy type of a character. He's pretty like normal in that regards. He's not really too like an extroverted or introverted. He's like in the middle. So I kind of forget about that month, sometimes. Like, he won't have like certain situations which a lot of other main characters find difficult. He won't find difficult because he's not really introverted. He will be in social situations, at least he will be pretty comfortable. Right. Because yeah, like, just think about it. Like, more than half of the animes, not only like like shonen animes, like more than half of the animes that we have, the main character is introverted. I'm pretty sure about it. you know like, yeah, that's how it starts, like. So yeah, anyways, you know what, I feel like shonen animes are kind of an exception in that regards, because most of the shonen animes that I'm thinking, yeah, none of the shonen characters are really introverted. Neither was Naruto introverted, nor was Ichigo. Who else? Jujutsu Kaisen. Yuji's pretty outgoing. Yeah, like like shonen the animes are kind of an exception now that I'm thinking about it. But most of the other, like, be it slice of life, especially isekais, and other like romance shows and stuff. Yeah, more than half of the shows, main character introverted. Right. So I kind of forget that sometimes, that Koichi is pretty basic in that regards. He doesn't have trouble with social situations. Yeah, he doesn't have any friends because that incident happened. But it's not because he cannot speak to people. It's because he kind of messed up a little bit. Right. Anyways, so that was that. Now after that, we get to see the whole scene with Standal. Like, yeah, where he killed that guy, I think. And then we're back to Pop Step now. Pop Step comes to the place. sees Koichi's like sewing the hoodie and starts eating his pudding. And then when Koichi's like, oh, that's my pudding, she's like, oh, you didn't write your name there. And Koichi's like, it's fine. Like, like I'll bring another one. I'll bring yours as well from next time. And he says like, oh, you're kind of, like a little bit confrontational in these type of situations. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Oh my god. And this is where she asks him about like like the hoodies, and he shows him like her all the like collection, and he's like, oh, there's one missing. So this is where we get to know like how it was missing. He tells the story of a little kid when he was wearing that hoodie, and he was going to give a test, I think, or something, as he says. But then he finds that kid fallen in the water, and he was like, oh, I have to do this, because obviously if you are a true hero in these type of situations, you will definitely going to go and help. So he goes there, he takes out his dress and saves the kid, and obviously he doesn't even have enough time to look at the kid because he was getting late. So he, after getting dried up, he's like, okay, gives the hoodie to the kid and just leaves. And he thought that, oh, that was a little boy, but yeah, as we get to see, like Popster is a bit too quiet. He's not really saying anything, and that's when it kind of it triggered me. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, she's a bit too quiet, and not only that, the hair color is the same of that little boy, and yeah. But like I said, I just didn't see this coming, because in that flashback, it seemed like the kid was like a 5-year-old kid, and Koichi is like some 20-year-old like person. So now that I'm looking at Popstep and Koichi, they are like they're probably looking at them. It seems like, I'm not exactly sure, but I think they look like 2 or 3 years age difference. That's it. So that kind of threw me off. I was at the beginning, I was thinking, is that her brother or something, kid brother? But no, as we see, like she kind of gets a little bit pissed off, because obviously Koichi thought that she was a boy. And then she just leaves and goes back to her room, and you can see, yeah, she has the little hoodie, and she's like, oh, it was me. And she's thinking, she's like, I wanted to thank him, but then with all the things that is going on, I was never able to. He saved me again with those thugs. So she's like, you know what, now I'm going to do it, like best time, now or never. She gets the hoodie, buys pudding, and she goes to Koichi's place, and she's like, oh, Koichi, I have something to tell you. So she's like, okay, come in, and bam, Knuckle is just sitting there, sipping coffee. Obviously, she cannot say anything now, but she gets a little bit angry again, and and when Koichi's like, oh, what's in that bag? She's like, oh, it's mine. Don't touch it. Anyways, that was that. And that was the first part. And then we had the second part, where we had that guy who was, like the hardening guy. He comes out of prison, and he gets another batch of trigger from Hatsuka, and he goes on rampage again. This version of the drug is very potent. It makes him even stronger. So when Koichi and Popstep comes in, they confront him, and Koichi realizes that this is a little bit different. He's way stronger than before. Knuckle Duster isn't here because he has something to do, I guess, as he said. And obviously Koichi cannot really take this guy out on his own. So he's like, oh, Popstep, tell everyone to call for help. I'm just going to stall for time. So he's doing that, and Popstep with her microphone is like, oh, everyone, please call the police. Yeah. And this goes on for a while, but as you can see, he trips a little bit and almost falls down, and that would have been it. He would have gotten really injured there if he got punched. But Standal comes in, saves him, and yeah. And after that, the police comes in as well. The guy leaves, and Standal then introduces himself. He calls, he's like, oh, I'm also a meddler like you. Obviously, Koichi thought that by meddler, obviously, what else do you mean? He's a vigilante. So Koichi was pretty happy. He was like, okay, you know what? There are other people who are doing stuff like us. But oh boy, little does he know, as we see, Standal later on, Standal's methods are a bit extreme. Unlike Koichi, who was literally thinking about the villain and the criminal, and thinking like, oh, if he does some crime, he'll probably get shut down in prison for a long amount of time. We need to stop him before he does anything. He was thinking about the criminal, hoping that he doesn't have, that was what he was doing. While obviously Standal is completely opposite to that, as we see later on. Anyways, Koichi comes back and then talks to Knuckle Duster and like tells about Standal and all that. And this is also where Pop Step talks about her fans. Those two guys. They have someone that they want us to meet. You know, so apparently he's like a paragon of justice. He does a lot of good things. He like stands against injustice and all that. And yeah, when we come to the cafe, we see him. He's the same guy with the spike thing, who literally bullied him on the street. And he's like, yeah, paragon of justice, definitely. Right. Anyways, and here you can see he was like, oh my god, what the hell? It's you guys. And he doesn't really speak to them. He just leaves after that. And you can see he is kind of being troubled about something. That's why he probably came to talk to them. But yeah, he couldn't really, because obviously it's literally the same people you were bullying a few moments ago. He probably has no face to talk to them. So he's like, he kind of left there. And after that, we get to see Standal coming, taking on. I think he killed him, the guy, or at least chopped off his hands. I think something like that. I cannot see. It's too dark over here to see properly. But yeah, he at least chopped off his hands. I'm not sure if he's alive or not, but there's a high possibility he's dead. He killed him, and then he has the picture of that other guy, the blue spiky haired kid who came to us to talk to us. And he's targeting him now. And in the background, we see Hachitsuka looking at Standal and being like, "Oh, nice guinea pig." So she'll probably come in contact with him. And I wonder what Standal will do. Will he take the trigger or will he not? There's a big possibility he probably will, because he seems like the type of guy who goes to extreme measures to do what he has to do, as we see here. So, and he's been doing this for quite a while. You can see in the previous section, that little scene that we saw that happened several months earlier. He's been doing this for several months. So, he must have some kind of a reason for doing this, maybe some kind of a past. We'll see. Anyways, that was it. That was my reaction to episode number 5 of My Hero Academia Vigilante. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. And that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of My Hero Academia Illegals Vigilante. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.